The first thing we need to do is set up our Pico and download our development environment. So I've already have one end of my cable plugged into my Raspberry Pi, and the other end currently is not connected to my computer, because what we need to do is we'll push the boot cell button on our Raspberry Pi Pico as we connect it to our computer, and don't let go of the button until your Raspberry Pi is plugged into your computer. So right now, one end of my cable is plugged up to my Raspberry Pi, and the other end I'm about to connect to the computer. But before I do that, I'll hit that boot cell button and then plug it into my computer, and then let go of the boot cell button. And when you do that, what you should see is your Raspberry Pi popping up as a removable device, and I see it right here on my computer. Now what you want to do is open this index.html file, click Allow or OK if Google Chrome needs to access the file. Once you open that file, you'll be brought to this page, and there's some really good documentation here so you can read all of that. And when you're ready, scroll down and click MicroPython, and then scroll down again. And you'll see this MicroPython UF2 file. So go ahead and click that to download it. And this will download to the downloads folder on your computer. So what you need to do is drag it from the downloads folder on your computer onto your Raspberry Pi Pico. So I will pull up my downloads folder. My downloads folder is on the other screen, so you might not be able to see it. Okay, so I have the file highlighted, and I will drag it onto my Raspberry Pi Pico. And when you do that, you'll see it says that your device was not ejected properly. That's completely normal. That doesn't mean anything went wrong. That means it's working as it's supposed to. Once this happens, that means your Pico is now running MicroPython, and now we can actually get started programming. The next thing we're going to do is download Thonny, which will be our development environment. And to do that, we can just open a new window in our browser and go to thonny.org. And then once this loads, we will download for Mac because that's what I'm using, but make sure you download it for your appropriate operating system. So I'll go ahead and initiate that download. Then once that finished downloading, you can double click that. And then this will walk you through the installer, so just follow these instructions. And then I will come back after I finish following these instructions. The installer may ask you for your password, so you can give it permission to go ahead and install. But once you do all of that, you should see this installation was successful screen, and you can close this out. I'll move the installer to the trash because I don't need it anymore. And now we're actually going to open up Thonny and write some MicroPython. Navigate to your applications, double click Thonny to open it. And when you do open it, it will ask you for your language and your initial settings. If you're watching this, I'm assuming your language will be English. And you can just keep your initial settings to standard. That's what I'll do. And then click Let's Go. And now we can actually see our editor. I will go ahead and make this full screen. There's 4 areas of the screen I would like to bring to your attention. The first one is the area on top of your screen that is your toolbar, where you can run your script or you can pause execution. The second area is this large white square in the middle. That's your script area. That's where you'll actually write your code and write your scripts. There's a Python shell down here, which if there's one line of code that you would like to execute, you can do it in there and just enter the enter key to run it. And then in the bottom right, you will see your interpreter, which tells you what version of Python you're running. I'm running 3.79, but if you're running any version of Python 3, this should work the same for you. Now we will go ahead and just do a simple print hello world program in our shell and hit enter. And you can see that it ran without any issues and we got our hello world output. Now if you want to know how you can actually save a program to your Raspberry Pi, you can just type any code you want here. Let's do hello world. And then click the save icon. And when you do that, you can just navigate to your Pico and just save it on your device. If you want to know how you can actually access physical elements such as the LED on your Raspberry Pi Pico, then make sure you check out our next video because that's when we're going to be covering that. This video is getting a little lengthy, so I'll go ahead and cut this one here. Please subscribe to Pyathlon for more Raspberry Pi videos. In the next couple of days here, we're going to have a video coming out showing you how you can actually use MicroPython to control the LED on your Pico, and we'll have even more Raspberry Pi project videos coming in the future. And we also have a lot of content about emerging technologies on our channel, such as cryptocurrencies, NFTs, the metaverse, artificial intelligence, and a lot of other great content. So please like, comment, and subscribe, and click the notification bell so you don't miss an upload. And see you in the next video.